degrees on Celsius when it's 100% low or when it's low. Why? Because I was running a lot of processors at 90 degrees Celsius. Even this one I was running at 4.2 gigahertz at 90 degrees Celsius. It fully loaded, it was 92, and I was running it like for a year. Nothing happened to the processor. So when people saying, oh, it's unsafe and stuff, I would say up to 100 Celsius, a little bit lower than 100 Celsius, it's absolutely safe. And I don't care what people saying, I just test it on my reality. Alright, so, and what I'm gonna do now, for the particular CPU, I don't like to run, okay, let me show you. For the particular CPU, for the E8400, you can set to 4 gigahertz. And it's about the max for this CPU to run it stable for this CPU, for particular CPU that in my case I tested, and it's C1 revision of the CPU. I heard the latest revision overclocks even better. So to overclock it, I'm going to 450, and it's gonna give me 4 gigahertz. Or 4000 megahertz, as you can see on the front side bus. And I'm adjusting the my memory clock speed lower than 1333 megahertz because my manufacturing memory is designed to run at 1333. Alright, and so I'm having the 4 gigahertz like this. But let me go ahead and click F10. But I don't like the settings like this. I don't like the 450 megahertz in front side bus. And when we're gonna boot in back to the BIOS, I'm gonna explain to you why. For this CPU and for any CPU, there is 2 different ways to get the high overclock maximum. What is designed for the maximum your CPU for your cooling in 2 different ways. We are at the 4 gigahertz right now. Ways number 1, just have the higher multiplier and raise your frequency at the speed that's gonna max out your CPU, which is 4 gigahertz. CPU core speed 4000 megahertz or 4 gigahertz, right? Or step number or another example, which I like the best on the overclocking, another version of the overclocking. It's when you setting your clock FSB as high as possible to get to that target core speed and to the 4000 megahertz. But you're gonna say, hey, if you're gonna set a little bit higher, you're gonna go higher on the core speed. You're gonna go 4.1, as you can see right now, and it's probably gonna be stable. Yes, and I would like to set it to 500 megahertz on front side bus, and it's gonna give me 4.5. And 4.5 on my air cooling, it's impossible for this CPU. So you're gonna tell me, and what you're gonna do. And I will let you know that I need to set my clock ratio 1 step down, multiplier 1 step down, and unlock the higher front side bus if my motherboards is allows. Some motherboards will stock at 433 megahertz, and some motherboards like Enforce 600, Enforce 700, X48 chipset from Intel, P45 from Intel, will give you ability to go up to 500 megahertz. And about 500 megahertz is going to be the max. Everything else, I'm not suggesting you to run it because it's going to be probably unstable. So as you can see, I received the perfect 4 gigahertz, and my memory went to perfect speed as well, which is 133 megahertz. When things like this happens, One divider is absolute perfect for the memory, means that to keep the CPU stable is easy than when your memory is not, it's not perfect. It's like 1266 or 1215 or 1186 megahertz. But to keep your memory at the perfect ratio divider with your front side bus means that it's going to give you a very easy and stable overclock, just to make sure that you have the right voltage. And that's exactly what it's going to be stable for. And I'm going to click F10, click yes. It's going to think a little bit, and it's going to be booting my system. And I'm going to go to the BIOS and I'm going to explain to you when your motherboard allows you to run that high frequency on the front side bus on the FSB, what you need to do. It's a 4 gigahertz right now. You need to go, if you want to run at 500 megahertz, you need to make sure that in the CPU, in the all voltage control or voltage control by manually, you need to set your nurse bridge voltage setting by just one step up or 2 steps up on the voltage from the automatic defaults, because the noise bridge, it's going to control and it's going to tell you how to it's going to give you the stability for the front side bus. And what is noise bridge? Noise bridge is a little chip that inside of your motherboard. It's located close to the CPU socket, which in those days covered also by the heatsink. And what it does, it controls the PCI Express, PCI, memory, video card, and sending that information to the CPU and back and forth. So it's like a communication bridge. It's a main communication bridge. We also have the south bridge, but south bridge doesn't use a lot at those days. It's the slowest bridge as possible. It's slower at the speed than north bridge. And what it controls the it used to control the floppies, AGP, what else? Floppies, AGPs, then EDI, SATA, PATA, mass storage devices, and CD-ROM and stuff like this, and the USBs. So I would suggest you to keep south bridge voltage at the normal settings as it is, and maybe sometimes when the overclocking is extreme at the high speeds, bumping by 1 step up. Alright, there is some other settings in here. And if you have the Northbridge GTL, Northbridge GTL reference, it's went after the gunning guy. His last name was Gunning, and I believe first name was William Gunning, which works for the Xerox, and it was his theory to send more signaling more with the voltage between the chips to process and post more information between them. And that's how he used for the Xerox copiers. And Intel just took it, and they have the GTL plus GTL, or in the newest processors even they have the AGTL plus technologies. But anyways, just go by one in the GTL reference voltage, and CPU GTL reference voltage, you can go by one everywhere, is here as well. It's designed for the quad core, as you can see, for the 4 CPUs, but I'm not sure which one is going to be which one. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set by 1 step on each one. Or some motherboards going to have the voltage here instead of step, so just go 1 step on the voltage for the stability. And it's gonna bring you this table 4 gigahertz at 500 megahertz on front side bus. And why I like the 500 megahertz in front side bus versus 450? Because the higher the front side bus,